Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week. Head to KliqThisTV.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
You know, I hear the song and I get like Stones vibes, but I think I get some good vibrations too since the passing of Brian Wilson.
Yeah.
Who was, did you catch there were two things. There was a documentary they made with him where he goes back to the studio.
That was like, they showed it on HBO first, maybe?
Yeah. But then they did, John Cusack, I think, plays him in a scripted film, which came out several years ago.
I'm a Cusack fan, so.
Both very good. And, you know, the genius of Brian Wilson, we're not going to tell anybody anything that.
He stole all of his work from fucking Manson, but no.
Charles?
Yeah. It's crazy because, and I know I say this every time somebody passes, but man, it's like every time somebody hits, it's just like fucking, you can't take my Popeye Doyle and my fucking first concert in 1974, 73 maybe even. Going into ninth grade, I saw the Beach Boys at Pine Knob up in Michigan. And it's like it's a bullshit fucking ski resort type. It's got, you know, bunny hills for wintertime, but in the summertime they ran concerts there. And there's a small pavilion that had seats with a top on it, and then you could, for a much cheaper price, you could just bring a fucking blanket. And it was like a big hill, all the way around it. And so we went, but we had seats. And I mean, I was so fucking smashed. They had to basically carry me. I watched the whole concert. I wasn't smashed at the concert because they would, you know, I couldn't drink there. But on the way back home, which was fucking about an hour drive, but with traffic out of there was probably 2. And we drank beers and, you know, and smoked in the car. And I don't think we smoked. We didn't smoke then. We just drank beers. I was like fucking 13 maybe. Mm-hmm. And they poured me into my house. My brother included, who was living in the house still. And whew.
How old are you now at this time?
I'm like fucking
73, you said?
70. I was going to be, I didn't turn 14 until that July.
Wow.
So if it was early in the summer, you know.
See, and our parallels continue, our strange parallel lives. I don't know if you'd call it a first concert, but the first band I saw play live, it was after a New York Cosmos soccer game. I guess when the soccer was dying out to attract people, the game ended. They set up a stage in the center of the field, and the Beach Boys played for a half hour. They were
that
the
counts?
first. What's that?
That fucking counts.
That counts? Okay. So yeah.
I would say I fucking saw the Fabulous Freebirds or Thunderbirds.
I was gonna say
it was remember the Thunderbirds, right?
Tough Enough.
Yeah.
Tough Enough.
They had like 2 or 3 hits. Yeah, we went. It was after the Pistons game when they played at the Pontiac Silverdome, and they were out. I probably told this story before in air, but so we're sitting there, and this is fucking, you know, Fucking man, I'm young. I mean, I know I'm fucking. I don't know how old I am, but I'm still sick. I know I'm 6'10" because I'm fucking. So I'm out in the field with everybody else. We're watching them. If fucking somebody hands me a joint, I fucking bring it up to my mouth and fucking hit the joint, and fucking you might as well just put a spotlight on me. And fucking everybody else is like this tall. Here's a guy fucking. It'd be one thing if I hit it once. It'd be like it's like. All of a sudden, man, I fucking see from over here and through over here the fucking cops coming after us. And I said, motherfucker, man. So we had to get down low in the crowd and we split up.
Yeah.
Because we knew where we were parked. We split up.
You're easy to find. It's good you stayed on this side of the law.
Well,
for your life.
I've been in cuffs. I've been in cuffs enough to know that I just was lucky more than anything.
Well, goddamn it, if they count for playing at the Pistons game, then I'm counting the Beach Boys at the Cosmos.
Yeah, Beach Boys.
Get me a date on that Cosmos game.
My wife's first concert was the Beach Boys.
Wow, that's hot shit. That's amazing. And Steve just said that his parents tell him that the Beach Boys was his first concert when he was 3.
Fuck.
So this is a theme.
They're so super over.
I was looking at the songs that he wrote for them here, and it's all the great ones. God Only Knows. That's a great song. God Only Knows. Good Vibrations. California Girls. Surfer Girl. Yeah, he was Barbara Ann. Okay, August 14th, 1983 was the event. The Beach Boys played after the game, and I was there with 45,820 other people. I always counted Journey as my first concert, because that's like, I had a ticket for just Journey in 83 and went. But, this was part of the game, but if we're counting it, we're counting it.
I remember in 10th grade, we had me and my brother and Bruce Aoki, who is both my friend and my brother's friend. We made counterfeit Aerosmith tickets we were in print shop together, and we made counterfeit fucking Aerosmith tickets. And just sold.
How did you? This is the days before computers. How did you do this?
Because we had a kludge. We had we had everything you needed. You would just all you needed was that. And back then, if anybody remembers what a fucking concert was like in '74, that shit was on fucking like stock paper, and it had a perforated thing, and you tore it.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no watermarks. It was just they just printed tickets back then. So
right, that's true.
It was simple.
Did you get in?
We didn't go.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Because there'd be 4 people going to the same seat.
You all printed the same fucking seat number?
Fuck, man. We had to burn a fucking. You have to burn a gimmick and run it through it. Yeah, you can't. He's changing up numbers. Because that's not the way they looked.
Brian Wilson was, a troubled cat. It's been documented. And I often wonder that if our most brilliant people in all walks, because of that lightning bolt of greatness, whatever it is, does it necessarily affect some of the other things there negatively as a counterbalance almost to exist? So many people that we read about, hear about, with excessively talented or brilliant, fought through life.
Yeah, but most of those people can't shut it down. They can't shut their brain off. T couldn't shut his brain off.
Yeah.
That was, And that becomes fucking like, I can shut my brain down. It might take an effort, but I mean, I've got to, like, if I need sleep, man, it's just like, I fucking go, like, I'll bring my phone upstairs, plug it in the fucking charger at like 10 o'clock. And then that's out of the equation. Like, I'm not touching that phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like anybody that passes away, I can't do anything about now anyway. And the only person that I would get on a private plane for is sitting next to me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I've said that to people too. Like when I send them a text, like, yeah, thanks for having my phone ding at 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, why do you have your phone on?
I don't get that, right?
They're like, well, what if something happens? I said, what can you do about it, President? What call are you going to make at 4:30 for your 89-year-old grandmother?
God damn it, Sean, it's going to take me 15 to 20 minutes to remember the nuclear code.
Yeah, I mean, the inflated importance of some people, and most people still have a landline. Like if I needed to
we have to, because of the security system.
Uh-huh.
You got to have backups and.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. I don't get that. It seems like people are inviting their own misery. But Kev, real quick here, I just want to get in. When the Beach Boys came out, they came out kind of cool at Giant Stadium. They all drove out in vintage cars. You would have known what cars were. I had no idea. Just old cars from the 50s, I guess. And they just kind of did laps around, and people were kind of leaning down, giving them high fives and stuff. That comes to mind when I think of the Beach Boys concert, because it was a very cool entrance. And it brings to mind Car Gurus. Have you... I think Tamara's car she's in the market now, right? Have you started the search?
Yeah, I've actually I've started the search. We're 2 years out because I mean we always buy a car. Like we try to keep the S class till it's 100,000 miles.
Mm.
Because that's when all the shit goes wrong. It's about 100.
Right.
So you buy it at 25 to 30,000,
right?
And then you're talking 50K. And as long as the leather's, I mean, if somebody's taking care of it, I mean, they look pretty fucking brand new.
Yeah, and that's the beauty, as you know, of Car Gurus, because you can check out the conditions right there on your app.
Should I look for something while we're on the air?
Sure, go ahead. I'll vamp here for a minute, and
do that, and I'll see
shopping for a car should be like exciting. It shouldn't exhaust you. It shouldn't feel laborious. Okay, but it can, like, between misleading prices that are advertised, hidden fees. It can be daunting. But Car Gurus, which ranks the best deals, they verify the dealers, and they make sure that you're never going to pay more than you should. So it's like kind of having like a best expert friend in the car market advising you while you look for your car. 4 million listings. Okay, Car Gurus has more car listings than any other major online automotive marketplace in the U.S. So you're going to find your best deal. Okay, it's no wonder that SimilarWeb estimated traffic data shows that Car Gurus is the #1 most visited car shopping site. So you've got in-depth reviews. You can get alerts like price drop alerts and unbiased deal ratings. They'll tell you how good the proposed deal is. So like Kevin said, they may just advertise somewhere else. Like, oh, you're 25,000 miles. Yeah, but what about the rest of it? Or the condition of the car. So all these things are going to be in the reviews. Here's some action we have right here. Steve, obviously in the market near himself out in Los Angeles.
Let me throw your mine out.
Go ahead. What did you find?
All right. So I found a 2020 Mercedes-Benz S-Class. It's a 560e, and it is $348.
That's exactly what you said, 50K, didn't you?
Mileage, 10,553.
Wow.
And it's got the 469 horsepower engine. So let's see if it's anything else in here.
How near to you? Because it'll also tell you where it is, right? So this is where
Yeah.
in relation to you.
I think it said it would be the shipping would be $400 to me.
Well, they'll even get it to you. Go to cargurus.com, folks, CARGURUS.com, and check out do what we're doing now. Have some fun. It's fun to shop for the cars and car
I might have
gurus.
found my car.
Could even say, I think Kev stumbled upon something right here.
No, I'm serious. I'm requesting info on it.
Beautiful. Done right here. Thank you, Car Gurus, for helping Kevin, for helping all our listeners. Buy or sell your next car today with Car Gurus at cargurus.com. Make sure your big deal is the best deal. Indeed.
Fuck, man, 10,000 miles?
That's insane.
I can drive that car to the dealership and buy a Mercedes fucking powertrain computer. I can get for another probably $5,500. I can get 5-year guarantee. I get fucking somewhat warranty on that thing.
That's amazing. Kev, some feedback from last week. MGTKMG says, Kevin, my name's Gary. Been watching forever. Really cool to be a part of one of your favorite wrestler and entertainers' life. Through the good and bad. Found out I'm going to be a father recently. I'm 29. I'm asking everyone for advice, and I'd love to get some from you. I can't wait to hold my child and grow together. Much love to the channel. It's a poignant question, Kevin, because June 12th is a day that is special to
tomorrow.
Everyone who's a part of this show.
Tomorrow is my son's birthday. He would have been 29 years old. So.
And
my advice to him is, man, spend every second you can, because, and most parents, they've done that survey where after they're 18 years old, like, you get 3-4 years of the rest of your life, like actual, time-wise with those kids. So, I was blessed. I feel I was blessed to get 26 because he was mostly at home.
Mm-hmm.
But
his birthdays always hard when you have your schedule. I mean, you're working on top, and we talk about the schedule all the time, and I think all wrestlers do. But it's a real thing, Kevin, when you have a family. When you're a young man crisscrossing the globe having a good time, that's one thing. But when you have a family, I can't imagine the sacrifice.
When you kiss that little boy, it's fucking 4 a.m. You got bags that look like you're fucking leaving to go to fucking Afghanistan and do a fucking tour. And you kiss him and you look down at him and you think to yourself, if something happens to me in the next 27 days, he won't even remember who the fuck I was. He'll have no recollection. He's too young.
When they're really small, yeah.
I remember, man, my son was born, and we went to Osaka and had a dome show, like, shortly after that. And man, I never slept that night. I just looked. I put him in my lap. I put a pillow in my lap and just like put him between my knees, and just looked at him. I was just like, fuck. Like, and that, fuck, man, it makes it hard to, Oh, he was lazy. Oh, this shit. He's lucky I was fucking on your TV, you fucking cock slave.
But you of course you check in all the time from the road.
This is before cell phones, baby.
Yeah, I did the
This
old
is
hotel
fucking.
room or
This is fucking pagers and
pagers. Yeah.
fucking AT&T calling card over the fucking banks of phones in JFK as you're fucking sixth in line trying to get a call before your flight takes off in the morning to tell your wife, I love you, and I'll call you again when I get to LA in 5 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. The glamorous life.
From his perspective, though, too, my second book was called Father's Blood, and it was about wrestlers who were parents when they were on the road. The road schedule you guys had, not the road schedule now. Like when you were on the road for a very long time. So I talked with guys like Sullivan and Russo and just guys that had kids at the time that impossible demands were on them. And then I had the opportunity to take a couple of people that were the children, like Bigelow's son. I talked to see the child's perspective of this. How did he do with understanding that it's you have a little bit of a different life in the Nash home than his friend down the street or across the street?
You know, it's weird because when he was like 2, my wife and I separated.
Okay.
And so she lived up in Kennesaw in a house, and I had a loft in Buckhead, Matheson Lofts. And I was writing TV out of there on, when I came home anyway. So it just made sense to do everything out of Atlanta because I was there. You know, for a while there, it would be like I'd do Monday and Tuesday, and we do that Thunder, and then fly to Atlanta on Wednesday, right, all day Wednesday and Thursday, and then if I couldn't catch the flight out there, if we weren't done by Thursday, I'd catch the flight early in the morning because I'd pick up the 3 hours going to Phoenix, and I'd be home Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. I'd be flying to fucking Nitro. So even when I was involved with creative and not wrestling, I still only had fucking. So when we separated, I had the loft but every day that I was in town, I would drive up to Tamara's house and see my son, and we played. And I mean the minute he got home from school, I was there, and I would stay until it was time for him to go to bed, and then usually I'd drive over to discos, and he and I would hang out and drink beers and eat somas, and then he like every other weekend, or the weekends that I was home, he would stay with me at the loft, and I mean we had these dual giant Scandinavian furniture chairs with footstools. And back then, to have a 60-inch screen Mitsubishi television, it was like a piece of furniture that weighed like 200 pounds.
Yeah.
You used to have to roll that motherfucker. And then from that, I got the Sony one, which was, I think it was 64. And what we would do is we would put it, so you'd walk in the loft. The loft was one room. It was like 1,300 square feet, but it had like open. It was a sweet loft. I guess that was my midlife crisis, fucking loft. And but we
couldn't
would
do better than that, for God's sakes. A loft,
fuck. It was sweet.
an outrageous car or something.
No, it was right up my alley. Exactly how I would live if I was by myself.
Right.
Fucking like Denzel Washington in The Equalizer. One cup, one plate, one spoon, one knife, one fork. Get done eating, wash it, put it in the rack, use it for the next meal. That's how I lived in that loft.
Mm.
And but we would we would sit there and on that 60-inch TV and play PlayStation till like 4 in the morning, then fucking go to bed. Sometimes he'd get hungry. We'd walk across the street to we had to go around the corner, then across the street at Peachtree, and there was a place called Sushi Rock that was open till like 3, maybe 3:30, something like that. I know it was open every night till 3, and we would go eat sushi, and I'd drink a couple of beers. We'd walk back home, and then in the morning we'd always get up. And I had this an Alamo set that I bought him of soldiers, and we had like all hand picked like our best 20 to 50 guys, and we'd fucking get up and we'd set that forward up. We put our guys, and then then while he was doing that, I'd take and set up all the fucking guys around it to attack. And we had these two fucking dart guns. We'd shoot it back and forth, to kill the guys. But I look at it and I say, I don't know if like God was telling me like spend as much time as you can with him, and when he's like that young, and then like for those 2 years just really bond, and then him understand like Dad's, like we live like this, because he always used to say that. He goes, we have 2 houses. And then we always had this place. So we had like 2 houses up there, and then it was just like we owned some other houses that people lived in that were family, and it became a situation of it doesn't take a kid much fucking, they don't know if you have wealth, but if you have 5 or 6 homes, the kid that he's going to school with ain't, and his dad ain't on TV. Like they start to realize like, okay, Dad's got to leave. But we do got it pretty good.
I love that. You've told the story before, not about the fort, but about like getting the latest video games and staying up all night. And you know what? For me as a kid, that would have been amazing if I had a dad that did that. And as a dad, that would be amazing if I did that with my kids from both sides of it. It's so perfect.
Yep. I mean, because anybody that's a gamer, and I think that a gamer's like a heroin addict. You might not have done heroin for 30 years, motherfucker, you're still an addict. You go ahead and bang a fucking rig. You fucking sit down and play 35, 40 minutes on a fucking system.
And it's hard to quit when you're one level away.
And have somebody there tell you fucking like, as you're going, like what I need to, like what moves this, but like talk you through it. Then it's like, all of a sudden it's like, ugh. And the thing is, when you play video games, and I can't even imagine what it's like now, because our graphics were so shitty.
Oh yeah.
Like you couldn't really get lost, but you could get lost in the action. Now you can immerse yourself, like fucking, you can just get, because I used to sit and watch like the last of it, like all the games that he was playing, Fallout, and it was, he always did. It was always all the fucking every war thing that came out, Call of Duty, fucking anything that came out.
Yeah. The actual day on the June 12th every year when you were on the road, you did the phone call. Would there be a gift?
So
then, or would you wait till you got back?
So I am like, it's almost like a fucking religion. Like I'm the most non-Hallmark person on earth. So we were always anti-Hallmark. So Tamara never got anything on Mother's Day. I never got anything on Father's Day. We celebrated Tristan's birthday, Mother's Day, and Father's Day all on his birthday because we didn't become a mother and a father until he was born. So June 12th was fucking, there was, I mean, there was, you could have offered me, you know, $1 million to go do something. That was like the family day.
Right. Okay. Did you well, what about him? What about him? Like when you what was the hardest thing for him about you being on the road, not seeing you? I know you made up for it, like you talked about when you were together.
I think it's, you know, like being in a house, and because I know what it was like when my dad passed. Like, you count on the pride of the fucking family to fucking protect that you know, that crew. And when you're the fucking first line of defense and you're fucking 9, 10, that's fucked up. You know, that's fucked up. So that's your biggest thing is, you know, and it's no different for me being on the road than it is just having an absentee dad. You know, just nobody, if just not having somebody there you can count on.
Well,
So,
absentee.
anybody that's out there right now that's a shitty father, I mean, you can always turn it around.
Yeah. I wouldn't use the word absentee there. Absentee is more than just a physical presence. It's an absence of availability, emotional availability too. And you
Yeah, but I
weren't
think
that.
it all encompasses. I think that's just an absentee father.
You're calling yourself that though?
No,
Oh, I thought you meant because you weren't on the road. You said absentee father.
no, I don't. I was, fuck, man. I was with Merle Haggard singing the working man blues.
Listen, someone who's heroic in the story that I don't want to leave out of this is Tamara and
Ugh.
the sacrifice of being the one home, not just there's the one on the road,
Yeah.
and you had your strife in being away
She's
from your
out in the
family, but
fucking.
it all landed on Tamara.
She's out in a fucking 6,000 square foot house in Arizona on 3 acres of fucking property that is in like the desert with restrictions. Everything's fucking pretty much, you know, the way it should be. I think you could have 100 yards of fucking grass on your property.
Really?
But I don't think it was even that. Maybe 100 feet.
I was gonna say 100 yards is a lot.
Yeah, it was 100 feet. You can have enough if you had 2 dogs where they could run around a little bit. But you're out there in the desert, man. Fucking, there's rattlesnakes and all kind of shit. Like we had a Doberman, and we had a guard dog Doberman when we lived out there. It was we had to get rid of him because he was so aggressive. But if somebody would have came in there after Tamara, that fucking dog, whew,
Yeah.
you might have got by him, but and did harm to but it definitely would have gave Tamara enough time to get to that 5-shot Smith and Wesson.
But the other things too, the more subtle things that school meetings and parents' nights and helping them with homework and just navigating the problems kids come home with, having a shitty day at school and being parent and therapist, and a lot for her too.
Yeah, but she was she was the education major. She was a teacher. So she always was, if it was something to do with a teacher or anything in that realm, she had expertise and she had done the job. You know, she was
Right.
she had him so far. When he was in second grade, they tested him for reading. He graded out as a high school senior in second grade reading.
That's insane.
A lot of that's, you know, being on the spectrum too, but
Yeah.
I mean, he was fucking. I don't know many kids that are in sixth grade and they're fucking reading Fountainhead.
The you bring up the spectrum, and it's been something that people here have thanked you for. People with autism have thanked you, and also parents of kids with autism have written here, and we've read them on the air. So I think it's worth mentioning. As a parent of a child on the spectrum, when do you start to? I mean, now people are on it, right? But 20 years ago,
But you're not.
20 years ago,
You're not on it.
well, they're no. I mean, they're on the case. They're
No, but I'm saying
identifying.
they're not. Because
You don't
they're,
think that they
no, no,
identify
no.
early
They're
now?
they're in denial. No.
Parents or medical professionals?
Parents.
Okay, so that is true a lot of times.
Parents are always in denial. No, he's just high strung, or he just this. They're always, and there's certain behaviors that they have, and it's just.
Did you say to us recently that like you knew somebody who like you can identify it,
Yeah, I can identify it.
but they necessarily
They
aren't necessarily
I've
doing it.
kind of like thrown, some things out there, like
Right.
and
There's only so much you can do. I mean, it's going to be up to
no,
the parents too. But what about you in your home? Do you feel you were late to the game? Did you identify it in time? Was it
He
Tamara who
wasn't-
did first, or what?
no, he wasn't fucking. He wasn't diagnosed until he was like 16. So I remember when we had like this specialist. She was young, and she was. She basically just came and spent the day with tea, and like they went to the grocery store. They went they just kind of socialized and went places, and they just kind of observed, the person. And when we got back, we had a meeting with her. T left. He left because that was part of the deal. Like because she didn't want to say so. He left, and she was just like. It's like the fact that he worked as a manager at a GameStop in a mall during Christmas, like if you're on the spectrum, man, you're on Everest, like you're on a peak. You're not with But I knew that. I mean, to me, I always say like I was blessed to have an autistic kid.
Mm-hmm.
Because he opened my eyes to so much programming that I had gotten as a youth. Which turned me into a conspiracy theorist, but I mean, it's just that, man, through a really educated mind that it doesn't like take force from the outside very well. It's pretty much their pure thought coming out. It's, and I know you and I we go back and forth. It's always a joke, but I mean, it's so fucking hard for me to listen to the fucking bullshit on those towers getting knocked down by two fucking jets. I just saw another one today that came up, and there was some high rise that got hit by a plane, and it was still burning like 24 hours later, like the building was, and I'm just like, and this thing here, this building was like 5 times that, and just some of this shit where they said that that they turned that second plane turned in at like 500 miles an hour, that close to the ground. Like it's almost like Oswald. There's like one person on Earth that can make that shot. There's one pilot on this planet, Jaeger probably, could have taken the G's to get that fucking, to make that bank at 500 miles an hour in a fucking plane. It was a giant fucking plane. And it's just like, you look at that and you say, it's okay. Like, and these guys fucking went someplace and learned on a fucking Cessna. And you're gonna tell me fucking they have that proficiency, and these Vietnam vet that have been with the major airlines and flown 747s and everything else for 20 and 30 years go, fuck, man. I don't know any pilot that can make that fucking turn with that plane.
Tristan, stop him. Stop him. Stop him now.
No, it's his.
You got him down here. Now
it's his birthday.
I want to talk about Tristan's writing. You've talked. Tristan's been on my mind, obviously, since we talked about this week and doing the show this week. And I was in the bookstore yesterday, and I made it a point to sit in the poetry section. And I opened a couple of Bukowski books because I fell into Bukowski's world pretty heavy when I was about 30 for a couple of years and read everything I could get my hands on. Stayed away from the movies because, who knows. But and so I sat down in the Barnes & Noble and I read a couple of his poetry books yesterday. And I know Tamara always puts a little comment when I put a Bukowski quote up that he was a fan.
No, he was a huge fan.
Did Tristan write prose and poetry as well as songs, or was his songs his poetry?
No, a lot of his diary that I've went through is poetry.
Interesting.
A lot of it.
When
I mean, to the
did
point
he
of
share it with you guys, or did you need to find?
No,
this
is we found after we went through. We had to clean this room up. It was. So we went through, and there was they wasn't like he had them hidden or anything. They were just in a bottom drawer, and they were just there. And Tamara opened and read. She read a couple of pages of the first one, and she hasn't touched them since.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's just one of those things where he never shared them with us.
Yeah.
But there's another part of me that reads it, and I'm just like, wow, some of this stuff's pretty fucking deep. Like, maybe I should share it. Then it's like, well, it's not my call. So.
Was he expressive of his feelings about situations, or was he kind of
he's
internalization?
My son. He's my son, so this sucks or fuck this it didn't take long to get him 0 to 60. Fuck this. I'm out of here. I mean,
all right, but what about something more subtle, like if he's having a problem with his girl or that kind of stuff?
He would internalize with girls.
Yeah.
But what guy doesn't?
Yeah.
We all.
Yeah, you don't want to talk to your parents about.
You definitely don't want to talk to your boys because they're just going to be like,
right,
dude, she's just a chick, man. You got us. Yeah, that's why you fucking 3 knuckleheads don't have anybody.
I don't think I ever asked you. Was he athletic like you?
He was a good basketball player when he was young.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, though, he could, for a big old fucker, man, he could fucking skateboard. He could longboard. He'd longboard around the neighborhood. He just fucking like it was nothing.
His friends, like his boys, his age, guys, his age, Were they understanding of? Did they get him?
Oh yeah, because he was like when he passed, like the people that came by the house to like give their condolences or just to like, and a lot of his friends, you know, it was a pretty open door policy for his friends. Like he'd have buddies sleep over that were too fucked up and shit, and you know, we always, you know, told him, man, before you send a kid out there on the fucking street to kill himself or hurt another family, man, you just fucking get his keys.
Yeah.
You know, just get his fucking keys. That's your job as a friend, is get his keys. And then if they woke up in the morning, fuck it, man. Eat breakfast, don't eat breakfast. If you're still drunk, don't drive. But, you know, most people don't fucking wake up and go, oh, I'm still drunk. But no, every one of his friends that came by, they all said the same thing. That he was like, not many times does a man use the term sweet, but they always say that he's like the sweetest fucking person.
Yeah. You know, something that's common with people on the spectrum is a difficulty in showing affection or communicating their caring for you. And you know what, though? From so quickly of us working together, my impression anyway was that like he embraced me. Like I'm just the guy that worked with his dad. You know, we started working on the show together, but like he'd call me like independent of the show and of you and run something by me and we'd have a laugh. He'd play me music when we were talking about music for the show and stuff. And it was so cool that he, I mean, I've shared this, you know, his last text to me, and it was just like show related stuff. And he said, I love you, man. And like, my impression is that he never had a problem expressing how he felt.
No. We went yesterday to one of his friends. It's Michael Dollar. He's a tattoo artist, and he did most of T's work.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like family now because him and T were like really tight. And so yesterday, Tamara and I drove, and he was in, what town was he in? He was in Bunnell maybe yesterday. It's not like, I think he's that we went through it. I think we ended up being in Palm Coast.
Yeah. Bunnell's right next door.
But like up on Highway 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, we're up that way. And we went in, and Tamara, there's a note that Tristen had put with a sticky note. And he put it in the pantry one day. God, it was before we built onto that house. That house was just kind of like a rental. And then when we all left Atlanta, like when I somebody wanted to rent my loft in Atlanta for like $3,500 a month. And I said, fuck that. Like I'm moving down to Florida to the condo. So, and then Tamara right up the road from me had the small house, the 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. And so she stayed there. So I was a mile and a half from them. And where was I going with this?
The sticky note.
So the pantry was always like triple size what a house would have that's that size. It was probably 2,200 square foot house, but the pantry was gigantic. And there was like, he left a note to her that says, I love your mom. And he when he wrote, like just wrote something, it was always really sloppy. When he fucking like wrote poetry, like it's like you can just see the difference of when he's, you know, into something or just, you know. And he wrote you know, a letter that said, "I love you, Mom." So she got that tattooed on her forearm yesterday.
Oh,
And then I got on his tattoo. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I got his face was starting to fade a little bit, and I got some color put in it just so it would pop a little bit more. So I got his tattoo. So we were there talking, you know, talking stories with Michael that, you know, spent hours and hours with him and getting tatted. And so yesterday was a very Tristen day.
good.
And then today was I just couldn't get going.
Yeah.
You know, I just couldn't. I just kept saying, it's 11:30. I got to get something done today. It's 12:30. I got to get something done today. It's like fuck. Yeah,
Well, I could share. I had a Ridge wallet tattooed on my arm because I know
nice.
T was a big fan of
Way before anybody else had one.
before everyone else was on the Ridge bandwagon. So let me just tell everybody else, you can get on Tristen's Ridge bandwagon.
Hold on a second. I just want you to know.
Yeah.
People don't know this. Tristen's Ridge was actually, it was a prototype. It was handed to him at a Beach Boys concert after a Cosmos game in '83. Unbelievable.
You pull out and it's a picture of Giorgio Chinaglia, the forward from the New York Cosmos. Guys, I'm holding a Ridge wallet. You're saying, what? No, you're not. It's not a wallet. It's a slim, compact, heavy-duty thing in your hand. What is that, a tool, Sean? No, it is a Ridge wallet, okay? It's made with, this is just one of many, many styles, by the way. There's over 50 colors and styles to choose from. Different materials also, aluminum, titanium, carbon fiber. It's peace of mind. You could run this thing over with a truck and it would be fine, okay? Over 100,000 five-star reviews, cannot be wrong. Gives you peace of mind also. This is going to be the last wallet, literally, that you're ever going to have to buy. Listen, losing your wallet is the worst also, but with the Ridge AirTag attachment, you're always going to know exactly where the wallet is and you can track it before the panic even kicks in. But it's not just about wallets. They have premium everyday carry essentials like keychains, key cases, suitcases, rings, all built with the same sleek, durable design. No matter what you pick, Ridge has free shipping and a 99-day risk-free trial. Lifetime warranty for all the products. So for a limited time, we're going to hook you up for 10% off with the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, at checkout. Just head to ridge.com. Use the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, and you're all set. After your purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please tell them us. Tell them Tristen's Kliq This show sent ya. Thank you, Ridge.
Yeah, he's actually had two of them.
He had the black titanium one, right? You were telling me?
Yeah.
That's pretty badass. Probably shoot a bullet into that thing. So, well, tomorrow, Kev, is
Somebody on fucking Instagram will be firing fucking 27 different rounds at a Ridge wallet in the next week.
We're not advocating for that.
I'm not advocating. You know,
Just real quick. Tomorrow's the birthday. Will you and Tamara do anything? You gonna?
I think Tamara's mom's gonna come over. My mother-in-law will come over tomorrow, and one of Tristan's closest friends, Maddie. She's, I don't know. She was just, her and Tristan were kind of soulmates.
Were they a romantic item, or they were just friends?
No, they were just really fucking just dialed in. And I think there's a sensibility to. I think T was sensitive, and I think that like he couldn't have the depth of conversation with fucking a Cro-Magna that he could with a woman.
Right.
And so she'll be there. So she's the only one that's really stayed like in touch with Tamara.
Gotcha. Right.
Everybody, I understand, man, because like when my buddy Vince passed in Pennsylvania.
Is that Max's father?
Yeah. And I think about him all the time. I mean, there's not a day that goes by I don't think about him. But then like birthdays and I thought about it today, and I was thinking about, because a really good friend of mine growing up, a guy named Jerry Bainey, he sent me a picture on my phone. It was maybe 10 days ago, and he was out at Michigan Memorial Cemetery, and he was kneeling between my mom and dad's grave. His father's buried out there. And he said, "Matt, it took me forever to find them, but I found them." And I just, that was so touching to me, man. Like just and there was a flower in each one of their like little flower things. Like they have a vase that you can pull out that has a chain on it. You kind of lock it in. So there was a flower in both of them. So that was kind of chill. And I was thinking today about Vince. And it was a nice day. It didn't rain. I mean, and I went up and just kind of hung up on the house, just looking at the ocean for a while. And I just was thinking of all the vacations that we took to the Caribbean, down to the islands, man. The Seances and the Nashes, Tammy and Max and Vince, and then me, Tristen and Tam. Like, and me just always on a boat, always just at a beach, and he made good coins, so we always stayed at nice places, and it was just like, and we'd be down there for weeks. Like we go down for 3 weeks and then be like, you just want to stay another week?
Stay another week.
And they'd be like, "What? We don't have any rooms." I remember one time at the Frenchman's Cove and fucking we were in St. Thomas. I told the guy, "Yeah, but isn't there some kind of rule that you can't fucking kick somebody out once they're in?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right, fuck off."
So I'm in my room.
What happened when I was actually on my way to go shoot the longest yard, and they pushed back production. So I said, "Fuck, man." I said, "I'll just fucking stay down here."
Yeah.
I walked on that set, man. I was tan as a motherfucker.
Excellent. Some more people were listening last week. Kev, Dot813 says, "I was waiting tables on 34th Street back when the Knicks choked to San Antonio during the championship. It was the most depressing vibe at the restaurant, especially when we were making a month's worth of rent per night during game nights." Yeah, I'd imagine if you're right at the Garden working a restaurant, it's a glorious thing. Ryan does pools. Now, we talked about Mustangs with him last week, so he has some more info. He said Fox bodies.
I know. I actually read his.
You saw this one, the 79 to 93 Mustangs.
We had ours was actually a 90. But he said it was the iced tea. It was excuse me.
Ice, baby, right?
Yeah, Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was his. But I don't know if his had a black top. Ours had a white top, and had white leather interior.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we came down here, I got her, fuck, let me think. So mine was 05. So I must have got her an 03.
Mm-hmm.
So I got her an 03 Mustang. It was white on white on white. And it was just her toy. She'd drive it here and there. So when I saw the Super Bowl ad and the black and red one came out that I had for 18 years, I said, fuck, I'm going to go get rid of it, this one. So on her antenna, she had a fucking a pin, like a ping pong ball or one of them styrofoam balls, and it was a fucking witch. It was like a witch's head. I never drove the car, so I never paid much attention to it. So I'm driving, and this is how long ago this is. I'm driving, and this fucking guy's on a motorcycle. He's with a motorcycle sound. I hear what sounds to be like, "Hey, you fucking bitch." And I got the fucking top down, and I'm fucking jacked. I'm like, he says, "Fucking bitch." I fucking, man, I pop out of that fucking car, come around the fucking front door, and he's fucking looking at me. He goes, "What the fuck?" I said, "You got something to say to me?" He goes, "Yeah, on your antenna." I said, "Nice witch." And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Oh. Oops.
I'm like, fuck, man. Nowadays, fucking Florida holds your ground.
Oh, done.
Done. Dead.
Done. Wouldn't even get the story. He'd just be,
No.
there'd be a cap in his ass.
Yeah. He put the witch in my mouth when he left. So.
Andre BDD. The fact that Kevin didn't say Kim Cattral is shocking. I asked you last week which of the Sex and the City girls you would have been into. Andre says she was fire in the 80s and early 90s. But I think
you
you're
just
specifically
said fucking,
talking about...
If you just said Ferris Bueller, I'd hit that.
Matthew Broderick?
Is that Sarah's fucking old man?
Yes, Sarah's, yeah. But no Kim Cattral for you.
No, I just...
But you were talking about in that show because they're very overdone and very
it's just not my
over-accessorized.
gig.
Yeah. It's okay.
Jessica Alba and Blue Lagoon, completely different fucking...
Did they remake that?
Denise Richards on the scene after she washes the Jeep in Wild Things.
It didn't see.
If there was Google back then, man, what the fuck?
Rachel Ward in a little...
Rachel Ward and Sharky's Machine.
Okay. Was she in the Jeff Bridges...
yeah, she was in Against All Odds,
right? That was
but
her.
I'd already mentally tapped that out, so it was done.
You're tired of her already.
Yeah,
in your fantasies. You had it every way possible.
Yeah, it's just I'm done with that.
Stylist Henna says R-Truth was always a work, and they, Triple H, Nick Khan, even Kev, all got you marks. LOL, beautiful thing. Are we accepting as fact, Kevin, that this was the plan, and that this wasn't an edit by the 20,000 bookers in attendance every night?
You tell me when a guy comes out to work with Cena, and he's been there for 17 years, I guess it was.
Yeah.
And he's dressed as Cena, but his shirt says, "R-Truth, you won't see me again." Like that's the T-shirt, and we can look it up. Steve, pull up our Truth's last T-shirt. And then he comes out on Monday, cuts his fucking braids off, and he says, "Truth is dead. Ron Killings is back." So, number one, some people will say, I heard Mark Henry say, "Last time is now. Yeah, after this, you won't see me."
Not just a happy coincidence that was the Cena tour shirt, or not, I know.
Why is he in this? So let's look at it from the standpoint of the machine. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If it just so happens that because Cena says you can't see me and it's the farewell tour, the machine has to make an identical shirt just for the fact that they're going to use it because he's emulating Cena in this match. But unless you had thoughts that this thing would sell, you sure as hell wouldn't have had 4,000 or 5,000 of them at the fucking arena.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so it's like then they say things like they just got rid of him and he's got the #1 selling T-shirt. How the fuck was that information out before fucking we even knew he was gone or not?
So, all right. So even if, Kevin, even if it was a reaction to the fans,
Paul told me not to get involved in this, so I don't want to ruin the story for anybody. So just hope you're enjoying the show.
Enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show. That's what Paul said. Just enjoy the show.
It's almost more brilliant for them to make the save. If they were listening to the fans, capitalize on the fact that Cena's on the last tour and the Cena shirt says you can't see me, and say, you know what? We're not going to see him because he's going to kill Ron. He's going to kill R-Truth on the air. It's an audible. If it was an audible, what a great audible. It was a Hail Mary and a touchdown.
Yeah, but the chance of that being an audible,
I don't know.
To me, it's an audible if fucking now we have the time we have. How did we make it better than it played? Because if it's planned, you have everything covered. So is there something more we could have done besides call the audible?
But this is what wrestling's about for me. When you can make a smart society now to wrestling, where wrestling news, you find out on Meltzer's site in 2 seconds what happened backstage at a contract negotiation. When you can make us talk about this ad nauseum, you've succeeded.
Eric Bischoff, I believe his book is
Controversy Creates Cash.
Controversy Creates Cash.
100%. 100%.
Eric, so underrated for those kind of things. Like this is one of my favorites, and it just happened on Sunday. So everybody that came out to see me in St. Augustine during my 3-hour stint, thank you very much. It was very kind. It was nice to see a lot of you. Some of you I've seen. And some people drove a minute to see me. So thank you from North Carolina and so forth.
Where in St. Augustine were you, Kev?
Well, it's that Golf World place.
Okay.
Have you ever been there?
Not to Golf World. I've been to St. Augustine many times.
So it's across this. I think it's like 15 miles from St. Augustine, but it's somebody told me they shot Caddyshack there. But I didn't realize that thing had been there that long. Caddyshack was fucking
82.
Tooth, yeah. I don't know. Where was I going?
You were thanking some folks for coming to see you,
I
asked you where you were.
Yeah, but I was going somewhere else.
Well, we're talking about the work. Is it a work? Eric Bischoff, your favorite thing that Eric Bischoff did.
Yeah.
Eric was great at
the. It had to have been something I was
Controversy Creates Cash. Anyway,
know.
if it comes to you, let me know.
I got a lot on my mind.
There's a lot going on.
I'm so stoned.
It doesn't. Kevin, let me clarify. Kevin says that because the comments on the sometimes on the videos say that Kevin's always stoned. He
Well,
happens not to be, but
the fact that I have 2 different strains of cannabis, I mean, but guess what? Not in my state.
right,
So
that's true. So that would be
I
illegal.
can't.
For you down
I
there.
can't smoke my shit. So if I can't smoke my shit, I ain't smoking.
In honor of if Kev, I will open the key lime, the Kev's key lime.
And you'll have more cannabis in your system than I will.
Than he does currently.
After your first sip.
Exactly.
I just left the gym. I've been on.
Kev, my favorite spot in St. Augustine, Harry's Seafood. Have you been?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in a big old house. There's a little outdoor area
Yeah.
too, but it's supposed to be haunted also by a woman on
That
the.
whole fucking city's haunted. It was so funny because I ran into so many people and got messages the night before, like, man, where's there to eat around here? And I'm like, so the next day I said, so you think you're going to fucking pop into the fucking oldest city in America on a fucking Saturday night and get a table?
Right.
Like,
There are a ton of restaurants
oh, yeah.
in the
But
old. Is it
you're
called
gonna-
Old
you're-
City? What's it, that
Old
area?
Town, I think.
Old Town, that area.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, like, that's just. But just. And I guess I was guilty of it. But Stan Hansen told me early in my career, man, like, don't just if there's something to see, man, see it. Let somebody else pay for it. Go see the fucking, go see the Arch in St. Louis. I'll never forget that walk out to Mount Rushmore where I went. That's it. I was waiting for Chevy Chase to tell me to get back in the family truckster.
Okay, let's
we're
go.
going to the next spot. Okay, Grand Canyon. Okay, let's go.
Grand Canyon is not on the Grand Canyon of attractions, ironically enough.
Yeah. It's cool. When Tamara, the first time that Tamara saw the Grand Canyon was it was just her and I in a helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
And we took off like from an area that was, I don't know, maybe a half a mile from the canyon.
Mm-hmm.
So they put on the Flight of the Valkyries. We have headsets on, and we're going over the top of these fucking pristine evergreen trees, and we were just fucking flying, and all of a sudden, man, the fucking bottom of the earth falls out, and it's just that fucking canyon.
Yeah.
And that's when you go, whoa. That's how you see the Grand Canyon.
You got to see, right. And like the volcanoes, you've done that in Hawaii where you take the chopper.
No,
over.
No.
I'd imagine that's equally as intense looking down.
I've been to Hilo and been close enough to an eruption where, like, okay, this is uncomfortably hot. We're going to move away from here.
Right. This is uncomfortably hot.
Yeah.
Volcano.
I'm about to turn into a Duralog. Fuck this, man. Like, okay, we got close enough. We can all say, hey. It's like me and Vince, the first time a tornado or a hurricane came through here. They hadn't had one since the 60s. And Charlie's coming across. And we're sitting in, so we leave the house, and they had a house. What was Vince's mom had a house on Old Carriage, which is like in between our house and this condo. And when the first band came, like we were like, fuck this. The first band came by on the Weather Channel.
Mm-hmm.
And man, the palm trees went. We went, holy fuck! So everybody buggered to this fucking place. So the elevators, they were still working, but you're not going to use an elevator during a fucking storm because you get stuck in that fucker.
Right.
So I was still young. Vince was young, and but they automatically put all the garage doors open, the electric garage doors.
gotta stop you. Vince, you've got a lot of Vinces in your life. We're talking about
This is Cianci.
Vince Cianci. Okay.
Yeah. So it's fucking, I mean, now it's, and I mean, it basically comes, the eye of the hurricane comes, this dead center is 1.4 miles from my house. I mean, we're right in that motherfucker. Because when the eye went, it got, like, because we'd never been in a fucking hurricane before. So once the eye was gone, then all of a sudden, like, hey, what's that fucking, oh, it's the other side. So Vince and I put on goggles, like if you're going to fucking swim in the Olympics. And we go downstairs. And the garage doors open. And we walk out. And it's kind of like a bunker. Like, you know, as you walk out, you're getting rain, but the sides of it have probably, I don't know, 12, 14 feet tall, the sides of the garage. And then all of a sudden, man, we fucking took that one step out into it. And I swear to God, if I wasn't there, and I was probably 3:30, probably around 3:30 then. If I wasn't there, Vince would have been gone.
Holy shit.
Because he fucking snatched onto me, and I looked at him, we looked at each other, and we just both busted out laughing. Like, what the fuck are we thinking?
Yeah.
You know, like, holy shit. Like, and then we knew we were fucked because when we got home that day at the corner of Pirates Cove, which is 3 miles tops, maybe 4 miles from this condo, was Jim Cantori from the Weather Channel. And that's back when Jim Cantori was always at Ground Zero.
Doing the remote broadcast.
Yeah, doing the fuck,
outside,
yeah. And I said, oh, fuck, man, we got Cantori. We got some shit coming.
Where's Cantori? Right, you just want to know where
Cantori?
The eye is going to be. Your
now,
Cantori.
fucking, he's done his time. It's always some other guy.
Right.
Like Stacey
I always love
Abrams.
that too. You don't have to be out there. You
No.
could be in the studio. Why are we doing this? Is like their Super Bowl. They have to tempt fate, stand out there, wind blown and struggling for their composure. Stand in the studio. Just stop.
Man, it's like running the bulls on a fucking track. Shit,
exactly right.
If
Just AI that shit.
You're either one of those motherfuckers or not. Like, would you ever fucking run with the bulls?
No.
Absolutely not.
Of course not.
No.
There's some basic rules in life. Like when people jump out of planes and die, I don't get upset. We have some rules. If you break these rules, you're on your own. We don't do well underwater. We don't fly. God or whatever you believe in has given us some basic rules. It's kind of like a
glory hole. It's a lot like a glory hole. If I'm in some place and it has one, I'm not going to be there very long. There's no fucking etiquette protocol. If there's a glory hole, I'm gone. You know? So,
can you find a more accessible example for our audience?
Well, that's pretty good, right? I mean, fuck, you're talking about,
but that could work out for you.
Skydive.
Who's on the other side?
I don't see any way it works out. I doubt there's a fucking a female in the men's restroom.
A gorgeous female waiting for you to.
Well, it wouldn't matter what she looked like. Just somebody with skills.
Well, in the chance meeting after the.
I don't think that's right. I think that's against the rules, isn't it?
Boy, we steered this one into a mountain, didn't we? This was a beautiful show 30 minutes ago, Kevin. It got very Kliq this all of a sudden. Listen, let me tell you something. We're talking about safety. We're talking about common sense.
Glory holes.
Headphones go down. 2, 1. While we're talking about safety and common sense with things like the glory holes and jumping out of planes and everything, let me remind everyone about stop box. What am I holding here exactly with my stop box? I am holding the sensible and safe way to store your handgun. Okay? If you're a handgun owner, Self-defense comes with serious responsibility, okay? And peace of mind. You want your peace secure, but also accessible when it matters most, okay? Too often that means choosing, like locking it away, or leaving it out where it's vulnerable to a whole host of issues. Kids, guests, intruders, who knows? This problem is solved by our friends at Stopbox USA. They've nailed it. Okay, Stopbox Pro, 100% mechanical. Why is that great? It's keyless. You want to be fumbling for a key in the middle of the night if you need your handgun very quickly? No, you don't. What about codes? You want to be struggling at night to see codes to type in? What about, God forbid, you have a battery one and your battery goes dead and you can't get in? This is what I'm showing you here, guys. It is all mechanical. And these 5 keys depress in a certain pattern. Each of my fingers rests on one. And guys, entry is super simple. It's that quick, by the way. I just did it while I was talking. You want another demonstration? Okay, now it's locked. Okay, and now it's open. Okay, it's that simple, guys. Instant controlled access for your firearm, which you store right in here. And once it's closed, it is secured. No keys, no codes, no apps. Patented 5-button locking system responds only to your unique input. Okay? Fast, intuitive, built from muscle memory. You don't even have to think about it. You put your fingers right on those keys, push down in your pattern that you select, and it's open. Okay? You do not have to trade safety for speed. Our listeners are getting 10% off your entire order when you use the code NASH, N-A-S-H, at checkout. So please, folks, proudly made in the USA, by the way, in their own facility, high quality craftsmanship of every product sent out. By the way, Stopbox TSA compliant, okay? So you can conveniently transport your firearm through checked baggage in airline travel. For a limited time only, listeners get our great deal, 10% off your entire order when you use the code NASH. Head over and grab yours, okay? Discover a better way to balance security and readiness with Stopbox. Thank you, Stopbox. Thank you, thank you. That's where you go if you want to join our friends here who come in for the tapings every week. KliqThisTV.com. Sign up for the 11 Soft Club. You get early programming, commercials free, and you get to be part of the show here. Part of the big family. Part of the big family.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you, Jen. Very sweet. Ivan Garcia can picture Kev playing Mario Party and T stealing cars from Kev, and Kev says, "Son of a bitch, motherfucker." Yeah.
He was never much of a line guy. When the line games came around, he wasn't a big Mario guy. Like when it was like became Mario Kart, when it became stuff
Right.
like that. Yeah. He was always a first shooter first. Like that was like anything that was first person, first shooter.
I got on when I was a younger gentleman. I got on the GTA kick for a while. Grand Theft Auto. Did he
Right?
do
Those
the
are
GTAs?
oh yeah.
The Miami one was very cool.
The Miami one was cool. The first one was. I remember that whole Rockstar engine that they had for a while. There was a game that came out called Bully.
Yeah, when
And
they in the school uniforms, right?
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
had to fight in the pit, and it was like, man, we used to play that and just fucking because it came out when he was at the perfect age, you know.
Yeah. One of the wrestling games, I'm not even going to guess because I can't remember. It wasn't one of the big licensed like THQ, WWE. It was one of these ones that were made like, I guess, for apps with, famous wrestlers, I guess. So they changed the name a little bit where they could put, like Kevin Nash or stuff like that. So they contacted me. They wanted to do my likeness to do the U-shoot. So like in the career mode, they could land on a shoot interview. And if they choose like the wrong answer, like their career gets fucked up or something. I don't think they ever did it though. They never sent me evidence that it was done. But Grand Theft Auto, and then all the sports games. I was pretty much exclusively like
I
the
thought we
Madden
played
series.
Yeah, we played basketball.
The 2K was the
What was the
basketball
first
series,
one?
and I think NBA Live was the first one.
Yeah, NBA Live. There was one season. God, let me think when it was. It was a long time ago, but you could. We always would do our own draft.
Yeah.
So all the teams would be scrambled because if we could get LeBron or somebody, and then we would always do the same thing. We would do the draft, and we would get first pick. So we'd have like whoever the 99 was in the game would be on our squad. Then we'd put the shittiest guys we could possibly be around him.
Why?
And then take away the stamina, so you could just like play Kobe, and fucking Kobe would average like 73 points a game.
Oh, so he would just score.
If you would, yeah, because we take the stamina off, so you didn't have to fucking sub, and then the rest of the guys were so shitty that they couldn't stop really. So you would always, because when you get good at those games, you can fucking crush the fucking computer mode.
Right.
Like I remember during Longest Yard, I played a whole fucking NBA season. I played 82 games with a team I picked. The best player I had on my team was Byron Davis. At that point, he played for the Warriors, and like Emerson, like what was Carlos Boozer was my center. Mike Dunleavy was my shooting forward. I mean, like I had I would destroy that motherfucking computer.
Right. Could you get legends on there too? Did they have like
No,
the
they
old
didn't. Not
players? They
during
didn't
that.
do that.
I think the next year after that, you could make your own players. So like you could like make a 7'4" guy that fucking had like a 99 3-point.
Right.
Like and then you play dynasty mode, and then you could have the computer play the season for you through, and it would just rack up like how many fucking world championships you had. And
Right.
we had that shit down. It was just.
Yeah, that was great when the games got very intricate, like the GM modes, you could do the trades and all that stuff. And you had to be mindful of all that stuff. That was great when it got so deep.
I was surprised that the Mavericks are gonna let the New York Knicks talk to Jason Kidd. I saw that today.
Is that new? Oh, that was today. Okay.
Yeah, it was today. I think it was today. First I heard of it. Maybe I've been so involved with the deployment of the national. So we haven't talked about that whole fucking deal.
Los Angeles?
Yeah. Just ground rules for my conversation before I say anything. I have nothing but respect for fucking people that are police officers, law enforcement, any first fucking responder. And I know, because I have had law enforcement. I currently, my nephew's a law enforcement officer, and it's like they're not breaking the bank. Like they're doing real shit, and to be how you can't find a motherfucker that's throwing pieces of brick at our fucking, like, that's fucked up. So this whole thing, and you see, like I guess the police will occasionally get aggressive, and I guess people forget that because they have a blue uniform on, that they're not human beings that can like have the emotion of fear, have the emotion of anger.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to just fucking
Be robotic. And
absolutely, man.
They're not. Nobody is.
Somebody fucking comes up to you and throws something at you. You're just like, fuck it. And you got a 42-inch pole you can fucking whack them with. You don't need me out there in the fucking blue uniform. I'm not going to do us any favors.
Right.
So I think this whole situation, and because the country on most weekends, and I know most people will say this is bullshit, but I'm not saying huge, not Vietnam War crowds, but some significant amounts of people not with this administration. Telling them basically like we want to keep our democracy and you got to like you guys need to go. Well, I'll guarantee you 10% of those motherfuckers didn't even vote. But there's different times to use the National Guard. I think that what happened was it became a power play. Trump fucking used the National Guard, overplayed Gavin, and then I just think Trump could have handled that in a way of if we're going to play their narrative is January the 6th or the 7th or 6th, yeah. Sure. That wasn't anything and we move forward, or do we say I really never thought it would get that fucking bad. I don't want to admit it, but if we would have had the National Guard there, that wouldn't have happened. Therefore, I would have went to fucking Newsom and said, "Listen, man, I didn't think the shit that went down on the 6th was going to happen, and it did. So why don't we just fucking and make it where you fucking buddy system each other?"
Well, I was going to say across administrations and across parties, you've seen that in times of distress and disaster. You've seen Obama walking with Chris Christie through Hurricane Sandy, and you put it aside and you think about the people, but you're talking about people with reason, and Donald Trump is a giant man-child, okay? He doesn't think like an adult would. So he's, Gavin Newsom's the enemy. You see how he treats it. Governors that don't agree with him. He's going to withhold aid from the state and fuck the people in the state.
That's because he's such a good worker. What are you going to tell me? He's that good of a... He's that... Fuck yeah, he's a worker.
A wrestler. Oh, like a wrestler.
He's a fucking... He's the fucking President Carney 101. Jesus, man.
Problem is he's president of the largest
country. Yeah, but you can't tell me that fucking Bill Maher fucking comes back and says, he's actually a pretty decent guy. We had a good conversation. You can't fucking go from that to fucking... He knows what the fuck he's doing.
I don't know that's true. Dude, I think a lot of this is out of spite.
When he came down that fucking escalator... When he came down that escalator, people talk about they'll be talking about fucking Trump way past Elvis.
Mm-hmm. Generally not in the terms you'd like to be spoken about past the king.
People that say he's fucking, you can put him in, he's not fucking Hitler.
There's people still talking about Manson. You referenced him tonight.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing I saw today on the news. If it wasn't AI, was over Ventura, California. There was Blackhawks going up and down the fucking strawberry fields when those Blackhawks usually are on the border. So now they're fucking, and which is great, man. Here are some things that I would just like to throw out there for our federal government. If you know for a fact that the Home Depot, that there's 30 to 40 guys there every day, that contractors come and they jump in the back of a truck and they go to work,
Yes.
maybe don't send white vans with ICE guys. Maybe send 5 or 6 pickup trucks with guys that fucking, with Latino fucking Spanish speaking fucking agents, dress the part and just drive someplace that's fucking got barbed wire around it so they can process it and fucking it be, and then move forward and do like why, how can you be that fucking dumb? And fucking, you gotta, I could walk up to him and cuff him. You know what would be better? Let me fucking talk to him through a bullhorn first and be in a cop's outfit. That'll fucking, I'll really catch him off guard.
Won't scare anybody off.
Jesus, fuck. They go to the fashion district. You go to the fashion district and be dressed like fucking buyers, and fucking, it ain't like fucking really like. There's these women that are fucking seamsters that have been there for 30 years are so seriously that they're all armed. Like, but at the same time, nobody wants fucking a bunch of death squads of fucking, death to the West, crazed motherfuckers running around our fucking streets.
No, we need immigration control. You need border control.
That's why.
This isn't an issue. It's the process. It's due process, first of all, which people have been denied. The tenets of the Constitution's been shredded basically in 6 months.
Well, I mean, it's been stretched, and there's a lot of things that are still pending that are going to go through the Supreme Court. And I thought he bought the Supreme Court. In some of the fucking findings, I've been amazed that there's still. I mean, Thomas is a piece of shit. Scott, he's just a piece of shit. He just needs to go. Just go get in his RV and enjoy the rest of his life. Thank you for your service.
But are you not mortified that more people on the Republican side of issues don't at least throw the flag at things like absence of due process?
I would have
the freedoms that have been taken away or
I would have 15 or 20
press.
years ago. But once you fucking realize how wealthy you get in the game of politics, then why you're not.
Oh,
I
know why they're not. I'm talking about voters.
But I'm just saying though. Well,
the rank and file, who say I
maybe,
voted for you, motherfucker. What do you mean you're going to limit the press, the amount of press and the information that we're entitled to out of the White House?
How about Green saying, "Hey, wait a minute, I didn't know that the fucking states couldn't use AI for 10 years."
Oh, yeah, we talked about that last week.
Yeah, well, fuck, man. I look at it, I say, I'm turning 66 next month on July the 9th. If AI kills us all by fucking 27, I made it to fucking,
You at least made it to 66. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's like when you fucking have lost a kid, and I can speak for Tamara.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. You can go to Rome, but all it does is for so many years, the three of us did everything together.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like it's me and her doing something. And I love spending time with my wife. But it's just like, it just makes it just even that much just. I don't, you know, so this is how fucked up my brain is today. So I was talking about my friend Jerry that was at my mom and dad's grave. And he had Jerry Benning, he had sent that picture. And I was looking at, so I closed up on the fucking headstones. And I'm dealing with the emotion of my son's birthday tomorrow. And I'm like, wow, man, like this is never gonna fucking subside. It will never be like the day. Like I'm like, and I'm looking at this picture. I'm just like, I'm over like the real fucking hurt of my mom. And that was 94. But I could fucking, if I had to cry in a movie, all I'd have to do is think about her. I think about different things. I could make myself fucking cry that she's not here. My dad, it's hard for me. I remember what his voice sounded like, at least what it sounded like in my ear when my head was on his chest. And I remember a lot of things about him. But man, if I didn't have pictures of him, it would be, or we actually have like Super 8 movies that were turned into DVDs of my dad, like dad, my mom getting married back in fucking 55 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But looked like fucking Rock Hudson, but without a beard. But I was just saying, like, my son, man, is just like, fuck this.
It's a different kind of hurt, Kevin.
Yeah.
It's not unnatural. There's something in our DNA and our makeup in the animal kingdom here where maybe you expect to lose a parent. But as a parent, there's nothing in that DNA system where you're built to lose a child. So
I wouldn't wish that fucking misery on anybody.
no. Kev, Tristen would want us to do a little quick game of Florida Man Jersey Guy here. He so enjoyed that. If I can just throw that into the mix here. 2 headlines. One, the behaviors of a Florida man, and the other one, actual behaviors of a Jersey guy. Kevin will distinguish between the two. First headline, man arrested for allegedly stealing rock group Heart's instruments. And man tries to pay for sex at club, calls 911 to complain about not receiving the services. First one, man steals the rock
All right,
group.
so I'm going to go with the guy calling 911 for sex is Jersey, and the guy that stole Heart's instruments is Florida.
Absolutely incorrect.
Oh fuck! Because I just saw where Hart was in fucking Florida for like five.
Oh, you see, you didn't go by instinct. You went by a bad news story.
Either one. That's those. I mean, those are both. Again, there's like those are kind of nondescript.
Well,
It's a 50-50.
No, there's got to be something in the behavior. So that feels like a Jersey guy. That feels something indescribable about it.
Paying for sex is, I mean, that's universal. Calling 911 makes you stupid. But then again, stealing Heart's fucking instruments isn't fucking exactly brilliant.
So the Hart story, a 57-year-old man in Jersey here arrested for stealing the Hall of Famer's instruments just days after the band offered a reward for the return of a custom guitar and mandolin that they say were stolen from the Hard Rock Hotel in Atlantic City after a performance of An Evening with Hart on May 31st.
They were at the Hard Rock when they came through Orlando.
I'm looking for the man's name here. Oh, Bennett. And he tried to sell the instruments. And then in Florida, this was the man at the club. This gentleman here, Sultan Al-Fawani. He approached a
Look
and
at the size of his fucking cranium.
Yeah, that is. I wouldn't want to take a headbutt from him. That's like could have done
Again, the
work
leader.
with the Samoans.
Fucking
The leader of the
Hulk better watch
identified
out. He's the fucking leader.
He was in a club, the Oz Gentlemen's Club near Clearwater. Shortly after midnight, he approached some of the workers there, offered them some money to go into a private room and have sex. When they declined, he called 911 to protest. The dancers.
Damn right.
Well, it said employees. It could have been the bartenders. I don't know. But it could have been the bouncer, for all I know. Could have wanted to blow Tyrone in the bathroom. And if that's going to go down, you got to be ready with some BLUECHEW. I wonder if Sultan had some BLUECHEW on him at the time. If he did, he would have been chubbed up and ready to rock. What am I talking about? I'm talking about BLUECHEW. BLUECHEW, the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. That's just what it comes down to, folks. Starting now, BLUECHEW's offering a combo that they call BLUECHEW Max. It's got the active ingredients of Viagra and Cialis in one tablet to put you, what's the old wrestling term? Put you on a rocket ship and send you to the moon or whatever. Guys, the process is super simple, super friendly. That's what we all love about it. It's all done online. You go to BLUECHEW.com. You consult with a licensed medical provider, and once you're approved, you get your prescription within days, packed discreetly, shows up in your mailbox. All done online. No doctor's offices, no pharmacies, none of that stuff. And BLUECHEW's not going to stop until every man is bricked up. That's their mission, okay? Just gives you a little more horsepower, gentlemen. It's that easy. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BLUECHEW.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try your first month free if you use the promo code NASH. Just pay $5 shipping. That's promo code NASH. Visit BLUECHEW.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank BLUECHEW for sponsoring the podcast. All right, back with Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. And if you can see what's in my hand, if you're watching and not listening, then you know this is the high spot of the show because I got a little Get Blitzed Lit aid in my hand, and I'm holding not the syrup, but the exciting Kliq This line of mixers. I'm drinking Kev's Key Lime tonight. I wanted something a little sweet, so I'm rocking a Kev's Key Lime. It's phenomenal, delicious, a little 5 milligrams of Delta-9 THC, and it's a mellow buzz. It's a mellow vibe. I've been sipping this since we started the show before. But there's also the THC sipping syrup if you want to make your own concoctions. You get this flavored syrups. You spoon it in, just a teaspoon's all you need, into your favorite beverage.
Yeah, definitely. If it's your first time using
tread lightly.
Product, yeah, ask Mr. Coffin and myself.
You go over that teaspoon, anything can happen. You know why, Kev? Because it's nano-infused, which means it goes right to your bloodstream with a fast onset of 5 to 15 minutes, bypasses the breakdown in the liver, so it works like alcohol and goes right into the bloodstream. Guys, if you're in Maryland, go check out a Stay Lit smoke shop. For the rest of us, it's legal to ship from the Get Blitzed website to almost all 50 states without a med card as long as you're over 21. Right now, save 15%. Enter the code KLIQ at checkout. Go to get-blitzed.com. That's get-blitzed.com and try the Delta-9 THC Sip and Syrup Lit Aid or the bangin' Kliq This mixers already in cans. And get that discount. Thank you, Mickey Ray, and Get Blitzed.
Steve, if it's you, if it was you, I want you to come on. Can you come on screen for a minute? Didn't you get fucked up on that Get Blitz one time?
He went over the teaspoon limit, didn't he?
Catatonic. It was.
How much did you take?
I didn't think it was much over the teaspoon, but apparently it was. I think I didn't shake it. I've been told that didn't matter.
I tell you
I
what.
put it in some Dr. Pepper. We had dinner. I was sitting. We were watching a movie, and then at a certain point, I was in my body, but I couldn't move my body.
Right.
And then that bugged me out, and I puked everywhere. So, read the label, kids.
Yeah, that like I said, that's people say, oh, it's like, no, man. And I've had a lot. I've gotten that product to a lot of people's hands, and I've never had anybody say like, oh, that's bullshit. Like they're like, fuck, dude.
No.
I said, did I not tell you? Well, I didn't think. What? I didn't. You didn't think I'd steer you right?
I had a couple friends who were into a lot of weed stuff who heard that story and bought some. Remember, like, something made somebody catatonic. I want
Yeah,
it.
no, it's the real deal.
But they want to use it responsibly, of course.
Yeah, we all say that.
Hashtag Ask Nash is how you get to Kevin Nash every
Hey,
week for
Steve.
questions, or join the 11 Soft Club at KliqThisTV.com and come in here and sit. Nick Castajuanos said, question for Sean and Kevin. Did you get a chance to see Sinners? Loved the movie and was wondering where it ranks on your pantheon of vampire movies, both stylistically and story. I know Wes has got a huge boner for Sinners.
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't either. Is it available for purchase yet, Steve,
Yeah.
on Amazon? All right, maybe I'll
it's
grab that next week. I don't know when I'm
I
going to
think
have a day to
Tamara and
do
I are going
anything.
to watch it this weekend.
Jason Knapp. What do you think of all these fatal 4-ways and 3-way matches leading up to King of the Ring? Personally, I hate them for championships or number one contender spots. They all blah, blah, blah. Kev, we've talked about this on the air.
Yeah. I've made this fucking point a million
formulaic,
times.
how you have
It's
to
like,
do them.
You can. It's become such a formula that there's a fucking formula for production, where basically they just shoot the fucking canvas and nothing outside of it. They don't shoot the fucking floor. There's no high shots.
Right.
They keep everything fucking like inside the ropes, and those two fucking people go fucking 2 minutes of a bunch of high spots, and then fucking when it's cover, and they go into a little fucking false finish, little flurry. It's cover. Oh, and then fucking the person from the outside makes the hard fucking save.
But they camp out like they're dead outside for 5 minutes.
And then the person they made the save on oversells that to the point where they go out of the ring, and then fucking those other two go into their fucking
Right.
menagerie of fucking high spots.
Exactly.
That Logan Paul fucking gimmick on the table, that fucking splash.
Yeah.
I saw him practicing it like it is where he's got like a, I don't know, somewhere on the island down there. He's got like a facility where he's got a ring and shit. And I just got to give the guy credit. He has no fucking reason whatsoever with $150 million net worth
Oh, to be fucking with
to
that.
be. I just.
Oh. It's like I said, there are rules. Stop skydiving. Get
Yeah,
off
but
the
I mean,
water skis.
that just tells like they've been at that level for so long. Like they were fucking like they were millionaires when they were fucking like 16 and shit. So, and they basically, it'd be like living the last 4 years of school, like your freshman year forward, in your own 8-bedroom fucking house in LA with your buddies.
Right.
And then wondering why the fuck they don't get some shit. Oh, really? So, and your parents yell at you? Like, I don't fucking, I don't compute. Like, I would have to fucking sit down and have a conversation with him. I would be interested in hearing, like, no bullshit, no working, just fucking sit down and just say, what the
I
fuck?
predict if we asked, he would come on. and have a conversation with Kevin Nash. See if we can make that happen. We'll do it on a larger scale. We'll see how we can make that happen.
That would be something that when if we wanted to take this fucking show seriously.
Yeah. See what you did there. Bronx PC Tech. He's an 11 soft member.
I'm pretty smart big guy.
You're pretty smart for a big wrestler there. Hey, Kevin and Sean, question for the show. What do you think of THC vapes? I'm an old school blunt and flower guy, but I'm thinking of getting a vape just to carry around. And Sean, I love hearing about your voiceover work, but every sex scene is now ruined because I'm thinking it might be your expertly delivered grunts. Absolutely. Keep up the great work and be safe. All right, flower.
So he's
vape. I'm sorry, vape, not
vape.
flower.
Man, I've vapes like at a fucking like a Comic Con where you can fucking go behind the curtain behind you and just go and hold that motherfucker, then spray it out and spray a little fucking. Now I use Mando.
Right.
Spray a little Mando and like mist a little Mando on the smoke. Then fucking spray your hands a little bit, and then fucking walk back, and all of a sudden, you only do that when the fucking con's slow. If a con gets slow, and you do that, then it's chill, man, because all of a sudden you're stoned, and you're people watching, and it's a great place. It's just now you're at least, if you're not making any real coin, at least you're fucking, there's usually some fucking outrageous cosplay girls. It's optically it
works.
Yeah. It's like right now in my life, I drive by and I don't know why. I think I've said it on the show before. I don't know what the fascination with putt golf is, but we have a couple of fucking courses. We have one on the corner. There's not a fucking time that I stop at that fucking light and look over there, and there's not some fucking hot 10 playing. She's like a mom with 2 kids. I mean, just some very attractive, female element over there playing fucking putt. And I just say to myself, like, that's where I am in my life. Like, I would never play putt, but I'll drive by and look at it.
Right.
It's kind of like, you go to those cons, like, oh, it's look over there at the putt. Oh, she's hot. Fuck that.
This is all designed by the owners of the putting putt. Is it called putt? I guess it's
putt.
Miniature golf. We used to call it up here. Miniature golf. They just hired.
Did you
those
play
girls
as a kid?
I mean, maybe a couple of times, and then I think
it was
in
always
Myrtle
a special
Beach,
treat.
my little ones. When we were down there, I would
it was
do
always something. I remember, like the first time Tamara and I went down to Destin from Atlanta together, and she had like won the Miss Spinnaker that year, like the swimsuit thing for whatever week she was down there. She won the Spinnaker thing, and so it was like the next time she was down there after that was with me, and I just finished doing the Mr. Georgia contest, so I was like in bodybuilding shape.
Yeah.
We have some photos in a photo book that are they're fucking epic. Like she looks like she's fucking
The two of you are like you goddamn stepped off the Acropolis and walked to.
I've got a fucking chartreuse fucking posing trunks on. Fucking, I look like I'm from the fucking south of France or something.
What are posing trunks?
Fucking underwear.
Like Speedos?
Yeah.
Oh. How about some questions from the audience, Steve? Our friends in the 11 Soft Club and sitting here for the taping, which you can do as well.
Take that image, fucking roll it up and jam it in your glory hole.
Liette, I would like to know if you will come back to Montreal, because I know that last year you were supposed to come to the Comic Con.
I love Montreal. If there's a chance for me to get back, I will.
All right, Liette, make sure you go see Kev if he gets there. Ace, hey Ace. Someone made a video of Triple H at the Money in the Bank press conference saying something he didn't say. It was AI'd? Steve, got any confirmation of that? That's interesting. See, this is what we're talking about with the AI and the limitations and the... It's so easy to do that now. And it can just circulate. How do you check it, though? How do you police it?
Like I said, man, you can't put the genie back in the fucking bottle.
Right. Another question? Edgar Watson, howdy, Kevin. Obviously, nothing can replace T, but I have to admit the crew has become a pretty cool club. Thanks, T.
Yeah, no, this was...
Thank you.
Like I always say, this only exists because of him coming to me.
Yeah.
Period.
Thanks, Edgar. Nice. Tyler Blair, any memories of you tagging with Liger? That video was cool to see.
Yeah, like we won my first tour over there. It was a tag team tournament. It was called Crush the Super Heavy, and Oz and Liger won the tournament. And I went over there, man. I was like fucking, like you couldn't even believe how job boy I was. I was fucking probably out I mean, they just had so much invested in me they couldn't job me. So then they didn't want to use me. Then Japan said, we'll use them. So then I started working in Japan, and fucking, it's amazing when you're over and you got fucking good guys in your ear. Like I had Brad Armstrong in my ear and other guys. When you're fucking over, you learn fucking because you're getting a response. And you know, and it was different over there in Japan because they're not, they pop when if you get somebody puts you in a fucking hold, and you fight, you know, super strong style to the fucking ropes. That's when they fucking clap. Like ooh,
Yeah.
but
You gotta earn it.
Yeah, but I got a lot of ooh. Like, cause they just like the big old, like, you know, fucking, I was a big old blonde haired fucking, I was a hoss back then. But I looked at the one that I reposted. Somebody sent me one, and I looked like I looked like I was almost like I was getting ready to play sports or something. Like I looked like thinner. I probably was just, I wasn't, I think I just, that was that period of time where you were getting paid not to be on steroids.
Right.
And I said, fuck that. If I can make an extra 15 grand to be clean 3 times a fucking, like just, I like wasn't no upside for me to be on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got clean. And I swear that's one of the reasons I'm here is I didn't start back up with the testosterone until I was, I think, 48. I might have been in my 50s. Because I know that I hadn't been on very long when I did Magic Mike. I think I was, how old was I? 15. Was the first one at 12. Yeah, I think it was right before I was 50. It was when I took testosterone again. But I mean, I took like from a doctor.
From a doctor, yeah. Kliq, this is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat, created by Tristen Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver. Producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristen Nash, copyright 2025, Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, do you want to do another one?
Happy birthday, Tristen.
Let us free. The customer service never answers a thing. Let us free to breathe in air we're supposed to breathe. Through twists and turns you've come to love me. Now I'm cold, I'm frozen. Baby, we're broken, and the customer service never answers a thing. Yeah, the customer service never